if you ever drink energy drinks, you take a sip of an energy drink and that first sip you're always like, okay, there it is, let's go. The chill stuff actually feels chill, not like you're just like, which is a lot. Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. We are back with a reaction super fun video. Today we are doing yet another Studio Choom special. So today we'll be reacting to two different group Studio Choom videos that just came out. I'll be watching KICKFLIP's Eye-Poppin as well as MODYSSEY's Hook. Now I will be pausing a lot during these and yapping a lot, so if you don't like those kind of videos, this is not the video for you. I have lots of other reactions where I don't pause, but today we're focusing on choreography, dance, execution, all of the things, so there will be lots of pausing and me talking. Forewarning now, it'll be a lot. I yap quite a bit. Now, just because we are covering two different groups in this video does not mean we are comparing the two. That is not what this video is about. This video is about just condensing some videos to me so I can make sure I get to as many things as possible. So I'll be talking about one, and then when I move on to the other, I will move completely on to the other, and I will not relate the two to each other. Let me also make this disclaimer now. Anything I say is my opinion on the choreography. This is the beauty of dance and art. It is subjective. So just because I like something doesn't mean you have to like it, and just because I dislike something doesn't mean you have to dislike it either. Nothing I say in these videos are a personal attack against anyone. Everything I say is based off of my own experience, my own training in dance and choreography. So with that all being said, let's not waste any more time and get right on into the video. Okay, so the video is pulled up in front of me right now. We are going to be starting with KICKFLIP's Eye-Poppin. Now I have seen this music video. I've seen the music video for both of these. So I already know the song, I don't have any captions on, just focusing on the choreography. And also I feel like I look like an egg today. My hair's in a claw clip, you just can't see it when I look at the camera, so sorry for egg day today. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up. I'm really excited to see this, so let's not waste any time. KICKFLIP Eye-Poppin Studio Choom, starting now. I love that they're doing the denim and white outfits. I love these outfits in the video. Okay, right out of the gate, I like that the choreography starts with a little like boost of energy. I think of it as like, if you ever drink energy drinks, you take a sip of an energy drink and that first sip you're always like, okay, there it is, let's go. That's kind of what this opening section feels like. Having a little bit of that boost of energy just kind of gets everyone's attention. Everyone's kind of like, okay, yep, we're ready to go. Let's get into this. Anyone that wasn't paying attention is reeling their head to see what's going on. So I really like that. Obviously the song is structured that way, but I like that the choreography matches that same structure. Let's go! Ooh, okay, two things. First thing, I like that even though we start with that kind of energy boost at the beginning, we immediately tone it back down so that we have something to build off of. Because if you have a choreography or a video or a song or anything, if it's high energy and it's high energy at the same level the entire way across, that is exhausting and actually falls flat. Even though it's high energy, you would think that's backwards. But there needs to be this and stuff for it to be more interesting and not exhaust every single person watching it. So it's nice having, you have that little spike of energy, but then you drop it immediately back down. So that way you have something to build to. So that way you can still get the payoff of when those choruses hit. You gotta create a path for the stuff to go. That's one thing. The other thing, this footwork that they do is really nice. Forgive me, this is going to be hard because I don't know their names. I think I know a couple. I don't really know anything about KICKFLIP. I didn't preface that in here. I've only checked out a few things from them, so I don't really know much about them. Bear with me here. But the guy with the hat, I think he has a hat on. I might be wrong. From the very beginning, the footwork in his section is really nice. It plays really well with the syncopation of the music and the melody. And it's really nice switching from movement that's focused more on the melody and the lyrics to movement that's focused more on the instrumental and the kind of sounds you're hearing behind everything. It's just a really nice little touch in it. What it also does is it makes that sound jump out in the mix a little bit more because it's something that easily could be missed, but when you highlight it, it automatically brings more attention to it. Yep. Okay, before we get into this next part, it's also really nice that they're not trying to like go like on this section of the song, because this section of the song is more slower in pace. You don't want to be aggressively pushing a song that, sorry, every time I hit this table it shakes my camera. You don't want to be aggressively pushing a song that doesn't want to be aggressively pushed, because it just starts feeling weird and really disconnected. So yes, this part feels slower, but it matches really well with the tempo of the song, so it really feels more cohesive. So it fits this section better, so I'm glad that they didn't try to go too ham. Also, because we do end up building later, it wouldn't make sense to do it now. I feel like I'm not making any sense today. That's great. And I like that this group breaks off from the other group. That one move was really nice. They do like a little here and then they go, got, and then they go down. It's just a really nice bounce. They do it also in the first three that go. They use a little bit of the bounce that comes from the bass in the song, and it creates like a nice seat in the song. That sounds really weird, but I hope it makes some kind of sense. It creates a nice like seat and settle moment into the song where it feels like, okay, now we're like really like into the song, as opposed to like the song just started, we gotta kind of get into it a little bit. Sorry, I love a good windmill. I think windmills hit so much every time they're done. I just want to see that again. Okay, so yeah, what they're doing is they're mixing a lot of movement that is very detached and far away from the body, and movement that's a little closer to your central line, your central axis. And what that does is it creates kind of this scale of movement and adds a little bit more dynamics to the movement. You're having the contrast of two different, not styles of movement, but two different like airs behind movement. Because if I'm doing this, is very different from when I'm doing like something like this here. It's a very different feeling that gets invoked, and having them contrasted with each other. If you haven't seen one of these videos, I bring this up in every video because it's part of literally freaking everything. Contrast creates focus. So what it does is it makes the smaller condensed movements feel more condensed, and it makes the wider, more negative space-taking movements feel larger. It gives a little bit of a pop to the choreography, especially for the chorus when you have the beat drop, but it also doesn't feel like someone's screaming in your face for like 30 seconds while the chorus is going. It kind of creates a nice ebb and flow within the movement they have. I want to go back again. I'm only 45 seconds. Like, this is smaller, then we get to here, that's a little smaller. Sorry, I just want to see this again. Sorry, I feel like I'm blacking out right now. Okay, so they had options with this chorus on the direction they wanted to go, because you have the guitar in the back that's really, really fast, but you still have the downbeat of the song that's a little bit slower. So what they're doing is they're focusing more on that. And I actually like that choice because that guitar it's so apparent and so fast that if you tried to like really hit some of those moments, it would feel a little bit like a tornado. I also think they're doing a really good job of performing in their face. I feel like the energy's being held back a little bit right now in terms of the execution of the choreography. I say that with a grain of salt with stuff like this because these shoot days are incredibly long. I can only imagine, based off of experiences I had doing similar stuff with the shoots I would do in college for school. If you didn't know, I went to college for dance. Long days, you want to conserve energy. You also want the energy to be able to build, so that way you have some gas left in the tank for the end of the song. The energy's a little low in the body and the execution of choreography right now for me, but their faces are doing a really good job of performing, so it's kind of elevating that a little bit. Him especially is like always cheesing, always the biggest grin on his face. Oh, I really like the heart that comes in the background. Sorry, I got distracted by that. I really like this kind of shift that they do and that everyone moves together. That's such a simple visual to make, but it just always works really well if it's done correctly. I do have to say one thing I've noticed so far in this choreography. This is a very personal pet peeve of mine. A lot of people disagree with it, but I think this just comes from the choreographers I had growing up. The walking to formations is my least favorite thing in any kind of choreography. Walking as a formation change is just... There's so many other ways you could change a formation than just walking, and occasionally I will indulge in a walking formation transition. If you're gonna do that, the walk has to be like just as commanding as the rest of the choreography is. Overall, there's been quite a few of them in this one so far, and I don't love, take that with a grain of salt, that's just a little thing I noticed. But the rest of the choreography looks pretty good so far, so I'm interested to see kind of where we end up going. Like that transition into this form was a lot better because they're kind of sliding underneath, so that way the guy in front can pop up and kind of be like, oh, I'm here in front of the guy that's standing for his section. They do a really good job of their pathways in this section. They're going like up and in. I don't know the choreography, but they're going like up and in and like back out. Yeah, they go like ga, 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 something like that. Those pathways are really nice and really clean. They feel connected, but they still feel like they're hitting each picture as they're coming through without it being like, huh, 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 huh. It feels very much like controlled, very intentional movement. And then they do a really good job when they bring it here. They take a little bit more time. They change the texture a little bit, so it gives it a little bit of extra kind of seasoning on the choreography, if you will. I also do really like how with the beat drop delay, they do the big jump before the big beat drop. You would originally think that that's what you would do on the big beat drop, but they do it before, and then they come up and then they just grab for the beat drop. And that's really nice because it highlights the lag in the beat drop, because it's like, oh, you thought it was coming there. Oh, psych, it's here and we're holding it now. So it's a really nice touch of marrying the same concept and idea that's in the song with the choreography, but it's almost kind of like the mirror image of the other one. The beat drop comes later versus the big movement comes before, and then the more simple movement comes after on the beat drop, if that makes any sense. Ooh, I really like that. The walking the diagonal and they do a little wave in the hand to move. It's such a simple little movement, and what it does is it just fills a little bit of space without distracting from anything else that's going on, because you don't want things to feel too bare and empty, but you don't want too many things to be going on that you're like, I don't know where to look. But that's a really nice little touch. Okay, so we have a change in the choreo right at the end. I noticed the energy did pick up a little bit for this last one. It's still just like a hair, just like a little touch more would have been better, personally. My opinion. Again, I know these days are exhausting. I know comeback prep is probably insanity. So I say that with a grain of salt. They're still doing good. They're still performing. So let's everyone calm down. It's fine. I do really like that the transition into the post-chorus is a little bit more thrashy and raw in this one. And it matches a little more of that like really strong guitar in the song. Where the guy, he's in the middle right now, comes through and he goes like, he like throws his like arm or something, and it's a little bit extra oomph to go into that post-chorus for this last one. That is just, I don't know, it's so simple. It's a very minor change, but it's a really effective change in my opinion. I really like that, whoa. These are interesting pauses. Sorry! The very first move of this post-chorus is the keep. They say, keep your eyes on me, and they go keep, and they hold it for a split second. It's such a minor little tiny thing, but it's so, I don't know, it just adds a little bit of like, oh, you're taking the concept in the lyrics and you're turning it into a literal piece of movement. Because you're like, oh, like stop, pay attention, keep your eyes on me. It's such a simple little choice in the movement and the choreography. Does it perfectly without it being like, everyone stop and look at me. The more simple, understated version of it, but it's just as effective. Okay, we have a little more energy. Okay, sorry, I wanted to let that ending kind of play out and not say anything. One thing I've kind of noticed throughout this whole thing, and I wanted to see if it translated all the way through to the end, they are taking up a lot of space in their formations. Like, it feels like they're taking up a lot more space within the kind of set that Studio Choom films in than most groups do, especially most groups that are more kind of medium sized. Like, they're not a small group, but they're not like 9+ people. There's 6 here, but I know there's one that's on hiatus, so there's actually 7. But still, point stands. They're spreading these formations out a lot and taking up a lot of space, but they're still managing to really get to all their spots on time. And it's really nice because it feels like the choreography takes up a little bit more space because the Studio Choom set is so big that it can drown out movement. When you have a really big open space, you have to do more versus like in my little tiny camera frame, I can do a little more simple stuff and it would read, versus if I did this in the Studio Choom room, you'd be like, girl, she's hardly doing anything back there. What is she doing? Really feel like it takes up a lot of space within this very large space. Very nice little thing that I noticed. I've also noticed there's a lot of jumping in this choreography, which I actually really like. There's enough of it that it's almost like a motif created in the choreography, and I feel like it just works really well in this because it's that kind of like rock band sound, and when you think of rock band, you think of like the like jumping and strumming the guitars and that kind of air around things. I did notice it and I was like, oh, we're jumping a lot. But it's not a lot that it's too much, but it's enough that it feels intentional. I really like this part too, the like driving thing. I don't know, it's a fun little thing to add in. The song is very fun. So I like when you get those little elements in the choreography as well. I really enjoyed that. It's a little more understated, but I think it still works incredibly well with this song and what they're going for sure. Oh my god, stupid. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That definitely was a little more understated, but I also do understand when choreography is a little more understated for things like this, because although they're not singing here, they will have to sing at some point in this choreography, so you can't be like while also trying to sing. That's just setting unrealistic expectations. The choreography has to be paced in a certain way that it's still doable while singing live. I think it is very well done. I think it fits incredibly well into this song. Even though I felt like energy was low at some points, their faces were doing a really good job at performing, but it didn't feel like slapping a facial on where you're like, ah. It felt like they were genuinely having fun, and these smiles came from a genuine place versus something that's artificial and kind of slapped on as a mask over the top. As far as standouts in this, I do see they have their names on their shirts, so I'm gonna try and say names. If I mess something up, so sorry. He stood out. Kye-hoon, he was in the center a lot, and he did a good job of holding the center when he was there. Him as well. Oh. I know there's two names that are very similar in this group. He stood out to me the most because whenever he was on camera, it was just this like the biggest grin you could ever have. And I think it's the same one that I noticed when I was watching 20. I was like, one of these guys is like cheesing, like so happy to be here. Like genuinely, the person's just like, I'm just happy to be here. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's the kind of energy I get from him. I really liked his performance. I thought he did a really good job. He felt very invested in the performance. Not that the others didn't. Whoa, let's not go there. Let's not go there. I'm just talking about standouts. They all did great. They all performed great. They all looked like they were having a good time. But he is definitely my standout amongst all of them. But I thought they all did well. So I really enjoyed this. My overall thoughts are it was good. It fits with the song very well. I wouldn't say it's my favorite choreography. I wouldn't call it the most interesting piece of choreography, but it's still a really good, solid piece of choreography to go with this song, and they do a good job of executing this choreography as well. So those are my final thoughts on Kickflip Eye-Poppin. We still have another video to watch, so let's go right on into that one. Okay, so we're moving right along into Misay Hook. I'm really excited to see this. I also watched the music video for this one. Loved it, freaked out, did not think the song was gonna be this good, that I was gonna love it this much. I knew it was gonna be good. I mean, second I heard Thiraj was working on it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. I love this song. I'm obsessed with it, so I'm really excited to see the choreography. We're passing the baton over to MODYSSEY. So let's not waste any time. MODYSSEY Hook starting now. Ooh. Interesting outfits. Are those crushed velvet? I can't tell. Or are they denim? I'm getting distracted. I'm so sorry. I was paying more attention to the outfits. Rewind. Wind it back. Ooh, okay. I like that transition into the first formation and also the kind of locking that we're getting within this intro section and the very smooth transition into our first form with Yicheng coming through. I did watch the show, so I should know their names. If I mess something up, I'm so sorry. It's just me being stupid. It's not me being shady. It's just me being stupid. Anyways, like this intro section, I feel like it hits that popping sound, like tongue. Am I having a stroke? The tongue clicking sound, the like sound, it hits it really well without feeling like you're like, oh. Anyways, I like the intro. Before I break something. Oh, okay. What's really good about this, and I noticed it the second Yicheng popped out, was when they say hook, there is no reverb. So when they hit it, they really stop it. They accent the fact that it is kind of condensed down really far in terms of it's not like hook, it's like hook, and that's it. And even when he pops out at the beginning, he like pops out, pauses, takes a beat before going into the next thing. They're keeping that same kind of momentum and ride through this verse that they're doing, and it's a nice little touch, both in choreography and execution. And the video filming is helping with it too. Ooh. I like this form, how we started with the 3 doing the choreography, then we picked up the back 2. We didn't see the front 2, but I'm guessing we just picked up the back 2, and then later on we picked up the front 2. It's just such an organic little pickup, and it's just a fun little visual on the eye. It's a nice transition, moving into section, adding people into things. So I really liked that a lot. Oh, that's interesting. So you have the pickup for certain moves, but then they break apart to do the outside 4, do different moves in the inside 3. What it does is it helps the movement feel full because there's multiple things going on at the same time, but it helps it feel like the 2 are still connected and in the same universe and not like pulling and pushing and pulling against one another, that they're working as a collective because there's a little bits of moments of overlap between the 2. I don't know, that's really interesting. Ooh, that's a nice touch. The click and then no one else moving except for Suren is it's so simple, but it's so effective. It's just really nice. Ooh, sorry, I'm gonna be in. This is a really interesting shape. It's a really interesting picture in terms of like you're tilting up the axis. Things are a little weird. I mean, come on. I mean, let's be so for real here. A nice visual that's very refreshing. Like, oh, what was that they just did? That's interesting. What's really interesting is I'm noticing, for most of them at least, where their weight is, it's not over their foot that's planted. It's still in the middle. Yeah, they'll step back on it the other way. So their weight is in a position where they can bounce off the middle. It's not like they're fully going all the way over to the side. It's still a little bit in the middle. So I can bounce here, but you still get the visual of the back and forth in the rock motion. Ooh, I like the little it's those little tiny details and choices. What is going on? I don't know what's happening. Wow. It's those little tiny details and choices within the choreography that add that extra just little flair and flavor to it. Those are the things that elicit the response where you're like, ooh, or like, ugh. And the little is one of them. It's so good. I really like this part too, when they transition into this post-chorus, that they have the nice slide. It feels very like, ooh, and then they drag it out and they hold it for a little bit. They wait as long as they possibly can before they get into this very nice bounce and groove. Very fundamental hip hop, but it fits so well into the bounce and groove that the song has. That is just really fun, and it's like, it's what you would be doing naturally listening to the song and then seeing them do it. It's like, hey, okay, we're doing it together. Oh, it's so good. Oh, that's a nice transition off that. The people moving off do the same kind of throwaway movement that the 2 that are staying do. Creates a nice visual where it feels like, okay, that was very intentional, they're gone. It doesn't feel like, okay, the energy just dipped, what the hell is going on? It feels like it's like, okay, everyone's like scattered. God, there's so much in this choreography. It is taking me a little bit to touch things. I really like that when their arm comes around. I'm gonna whack my hand on this table. Their arm comes around here. It does like a full circle. Like it's not like tried to be like held back at all. It's very like full circle, and then the momentum keeps riding through this next whole thing where they're like this, and then Leisha has like Dormammu, Doctor Strange, whatever the hell, and they open up, and it takes you on this little journey as the section moves through. That feels kind of like you're on like a roller coaster, like swinging back and forth. Oh, that was really nice. The giggy clack, 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 crash, crick, whatever sound that is. They go like ga ga ga, and then they click, and then they lock into place, and it's just, oh, it's so satisfying both to the ear and to the eye. And then we're doing this. Hello? We're doing the same kind of formation add-on that we were doing before, and the way they have this whole verse transitioning section to section from, you have the 3, then you have them break off to the side, the 3 move forward, and then the 4 re-enter from the back as the 3 move away, but then you have people all ready to go for that next 5? I don't know why I said 5. It looks kind of like the 5 on the dice. I know there's not 5 of them. Then you have the full group come in for that more dispersed 3 and 4 formation. They're doing a really good job of adding a lot of this like groovy texture, almost very like fluid. I'm gonna say this and it sounds bad. I promise this is a good thing. Lanky almost, where it's like slithery, like snaky, that kind of idea. They're inputting a lot of that in, especially their like upper body with certain movements, and it's something I've noticed that's not necessarily built into the choreography. It's more in terms of how they're doing it that I really like, actually. It's really nice. Ooh, that was a really nice transition. I like that we flipped, that we're not doing the same choreography for this chorus. The build up in the first chorus, you had the click, 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 and then there was the hold in terms of like, I think they moved to the next formation and then waited to start the choreography, versus this is da 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 da, move to reveal that the people are already moving in the back. The hold is built within the start of the chorus choreography for this one, versus the hold is built in the transition into the start of the chorus choreography for the first one. If that makes any sense. And what it does is, here we are again, contrast creates focus. The really ga movements into the slow things makes those slow ones have so much more payoff in it because of that sudden switch into it. That's what gets your eye to go, oh, okay. It also gives you a little bit of a moment to breathe a little bit. Oh, that transition was incredible. Wow. Okay, so there are some people that had to like haul it to get to their spot. Transitions and formation transitions are really hard to get right to where you can do one move and you stop and you land and you are in the right spot. Those are the hardest type of formation changes versus like ones that have a few steps to get you there, because you can kind of adjust once you're there, versus a slide and landing right in formation. If you are in the wrong spot, it's going to be very obvious. But this formation switch is so seamless, so well done. They land right where they're supposed to be. And like Lin Lin, I think, with the highlights on top over here. Oh, that was my shoulder. Has a long way to go. He's like fully like launching himself into the next form, but he gets there and it doesn't feel chaotic. It feels like the energy's really moving with them, but it doesn't feel like, ah, I gotta get to my spot. Very nicely done. God, sorry. I'm gonna take a moment. Suren is such a good dancer. He's someone who is born to be a dancer. He has such a natural gift for it in terms of the way he's using this kind of rectangle. You can't see it because I'm sitting, but this kind of rectangle here. I'm going from like my hips to my shoulders, your torso. What separates a good dancer from a great dancer is how they use this. You can be really good in terms of like move your limbs a lot, you're hitting all the things, but your extra little, your own twist and style and spin you put on things comes from here. This is where, this is gonna sound really cheesy, but this is where the sauce comes from. Once you unlock this part of your body, the textures that you can do and the little things you can add to the movement are so minor in the scheme of things, but so important and effective in adding that extra layer of oomph to take choreography from steps to actual intentional movement and dancing. And that's what separates the good dancers from the great dancers. And that's also, you can tell a lot about someone's training within how they use this part of their body. And I know he's not assigned to a company. I don't know too much about his actual like background outside of that. He just has this natural knack for adding his own little texture to things that elevates the choreography and the movement a little bit, but still doesn't distract and feel like he's doing too much. He has a very nice natural bounce and groove and internal rhythm in himself, and it's so nice. Sorry, that was my Suren yap sesh there. But when he comes into the middle, you can see it a lot in these bounces, and then when he comes over to do this little clack here, they go like down, click. He goes like ga ga ga. Instead of just going like this, he goes ga 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 ga. Uses a little bit more in the body. And what he does is sorry, I'm getting so sorry. I will move on. I'm sorry, but what he also does is he goes a little bit this way before he goes this way, which makes this switch into it that much more eye-catching. And it's those little tiny details that make him jump out as like, oh, he's definitely main dancer. I love all of them. I think they're all talented, but I had to give him his flowers. Ooh, okay. That's a fun form. The two lines moving and then going like this with the person in the middle. Interesting little visual that's not really used a ton. Especially because it looks like, yes, the choreography is built to where if you're in the front, the moment you'd be crossing over whoever's, hello? This is Hung Yu, who's supposed to be our focus right now because he's the one singing. If you're crossing in front, what the choreography is designed to do is it's moving, it's moving, it's moving. The second there's gonna start to be an overlap, there's something in the choreography that brings them down and under to where they seamlessly move across versus being like, oh, now you're distracted from this. It moves under seamlessly. It's built and baked in within the movement they're doing that it naturally doesn't distract from the person that we're supposed to be focusing on. Down. Ooh, nice visual with the 3 and then the 2 on the side. Ooh, That's really nice. What's nice about how this dance break is set up is you have the push in the beginning that's a little more of that intricate choreography, and then you get into the latter half of the dance break, which turns to a little bit more of the like chill, like groove back and forth. And they all do a really good job of having those things approached differently in terms of you have a different intention, the energy you put behind each movement is different, because that way you have the kind of oomph and power to go behind the more intricacies in the movement, but then you reel it back in enough that the chill stuff actually feels chill, not like you're just like which is a lot. That is not what that warrants. So they do a really good job of that. Ooh, those are nice little plates hitting every time. Ooh. Sorry. There's two things I need to comment on. Number one, Rowan. He has a new name now. Rowan. Performance quality, a lot better than it was in the show. All of them, their performance in this whole thing, I was gonna wait to say it to the end, but I'm gonna say it now, I guess. Performance quality, huge jump from the last time I saw them. Great, everyone improved. He especially, this section, he's doing a really good job of commanding the center, which is kind of what I was missing from him in the show, was a little bit more of that like taking control when you're in the center and being like, I am the center now, this is my part. I see it now, and it's so nice. And what it does is it holds focus into him. The others are moving a little more slowly, so it helps rein in the focus a little bit. It creates a very nice visual. Second thing, that's Sura doing those high notes in the back. I did not know that. That's crazy. Anyways, that's not choreography. I noticed he was off to the side and I was like, is that Sura doing the high notes? That move, I really loved it in the video too, because they did a really good job of highlighting it. The like, I'm forgetting, it has a name. I'm forgetting what it is. They like switch back into the jump. That move is so nice, and it fits so well into this section of this choreography because it has the kind of hang time and air time they need, but it also has a little more dynamics in how the jump is executed. It's a really nice move and a great spot in the choreography. Okay, Hungyu just came through with a bunch of energy through this. Very good, very good. Everyone did great. Oh. I really enjoyed that. I thought everyone did a really good job. Very high energy. There's a lot going on in this choreography, which there's a lot going on in the song. It fits and matches very well. There's a lot of intentionality behind the choreography and also how they are executing certain moves, which is really nice. I feel like they've all improved so much since Plain at Sea Home Race has ended. I was gonna say ended and finished. Since Plain at Sea Home Race has finished, it is crazy to see the improvement. They did a really great job on this, for sure. In terms of people who stood out to me, Suren stands out in terms of I can pick out someone who has a natural nick for being a dancer. I thought Yichen did really good in his part in the beginning. The beginning of a song is so important, that first opening verse, because it helps set the tone for the rest of the song. I thought he did a really good job in his verse in the beginning, and he popped out a couple times also throughout the rest of the choreography. That was also really good. Lin. Now, I know he is a dancer as well. He did one of the battles on Boys 2 Planet. I feel like I never actually got to really see his full capabilities in dance in either of the shows. Either I was doing a terrible job paying attention, or they didn't do a great job of showcasing it. Regardless, I saw it more in this. There were moments, like how I was talking about Sharon, where I could tell that he has a little bit more dance training and that more natural, what am I looking for? Effortless, like he was meant to be dancing energy that I was talking with Sharon. I also see glimpses of it in Lin for sure. So I feel like I got to see a little bit more of him and his skill in this. But I did really enjoy watching this one. Very high energy, incredibly well done. I had a good time both watching the music video and watching the studio Choom. I'm really glad I checked out the choreography because it is very fun, very entertaining for sure. Okay, so we watched both of those. I really enjoyed both. They're very different, but they're still really good in their own right. I really enjoyed it. I hope some of what I said in any of this made sense, gave some insight to people. Days is what got me into K-pop. The choreography and the performance and everything. That caliber of talent is what got me into K-pop. Videos like these where I can talk about it and share why things work and stuff are some of my favorite videos to film. So I hope that you all enjoy watching them because I love filming them. I don't necessarily love editing them. They take a very long time to edit, but I love filming them. I love a good yap session, if you will. But yeah, I really enjoyed today. I thought it was really fun getting to check out these choreographies, and I like that they were different because different songs warrant different things. So that's going to be it for this video. If you want to see any of my other reactions for either of these groups or any other group I react to on this channel, they each have their own playlist over in the playlist tab. If you liked more of the dancer commentary side of this, I do have a playlist for all my dancer reactions that cover all the groups, kind of performance, dance practices, stuff that I've reacted to. So that's also over in the playlist tab. I also have a playlist called Reactions to Come, which is full of everything that I'm confirmed to be reacting to that has been released. So if you do see something in that playlist that you want me to watch with you, drop it down in the comment section below or reply to one of my posts and let me know. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications. Lots of videos coming out constantly. The schedule is constantly changing due to a lot of overlap in releases. It's important that I have those post notifications turned on so that way you know when I post. If you want to go follow me on any other social medias, I'll put them both down here. They're also linked in the description of this video as well as on my channel page. So if you want to go follow me over there, I would love to have you. Thank you so much for sitting through all of the yapping in this video. I really do appreciate it. I can't express it enough. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Haha, if you made it to the end, there's another Studio Choom special coming. At least one, if not two more. With other groups, it'll be the same thing as this, so keep those eyes peeled.